Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah. Let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host, and Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Wellness Wednesday. And that's an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to chat about something interesting. Now, I got a confession. The topic tonight is Black love, mental health, and healing together. This was actually supposed to be a topic that was discussed in February, but I had to cancel. So, my very special guest tonight is none other than Coach Jeremy Ruffin, who we have been talking about collaborating for quite some time now, and finally it is happening. He is based in Pensacola, Florida. So I'm super excited and delighted to have him on here with me tonight. But before I bring Coach Jeremy on, I need to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from? We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on my personal LinkedIn page. This is an interactive live, so your comments, your questions are very much so welcome. And trust me, this is going to be an engaging conversation because Coach Ruffin has got a whole lot of energy. So let us know what city, what state are you tuning in from? I see folks are chiming in already. Mr. Dante, who is here in Tallahassee, thank you for being here. Keisha, she said it's never too late to find love. I don't know. For some of us, I don't know. No, you're right, Keisha. All right. Thank you for being here. Miss Tangi Jones is here. Tally is in the house. Tallahassee showing up. Where's Picola? Listen, tell them. I know it's 7:30 over there, but y'all need to show up. Listen, Coach Jeremy, you need to let them know they need to be in here. So tag a friend. Miss Teresa is here. Thank you for being here, Miss Teresa. I got to get by there to get me a plate over there at Joe Ellen's. All right, so I know others will be joining us, but I'm going to go ahead and share Coach Jeremy's bio. Jeremy Ruffin is a dynamic motivational speaker, blending his expertise in sports management, educational leadership, and sales to empower and uplift audiences worldwide. With a career devoted to instigating positive change, Jeremy passionately encourages individuals to embrace resilience, urgency, focus, and faithfulness as the cornerstones of success. In addition to his role as a sought after motivational speaker, he serves as a dedicated life coach, influential board member, and prolific author. Renowned for his contagious energy and unwavering commitment to driving action, he is a beacon of motivation in any setting. Beyond his speaking engagement, he finds fulfillment in physical fitness, community service through his nonprofit endeavors, and cherishing precious moments with his beloved family, rather. He embodies the spirit of transformational leadership while inspiring others to unlock their full potential and strive for greatness in every aspect of life. Y'all, help me welcome Coach Jeremy Ruffin.
What's going on? What's going on? I'm excited. I'm excited.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You gonna have maybe a little visitor here, so just
That's all right. That's all
y'all
right.
people be aware.
So, tell us who the visitor is, so
I've
folks.
got a 20-month-old who loves his daddy, so and I'm all about it. So we gonna make it
Uh-huh.
do what it do, right?
Cute as he wants to be too. So love it, love it, love it. All
Absolutely.
right. So I see other folks, y'all. I'm gonna get to y'all in just a minute, but Coach, you got to tell the folks who is Coach Jeremy Ruffin. I know I talked a little bit about what you do, but who are you in your own
Sure,
words?
sure, sure. So, listen, I'm a uh, you kind of already said it, but energetic, loving, caring, um, devoted self person. So I enjoy people. I enjoy serving. I enjoy helping. And it's just so great that we've been able to. I mean, you canceled on me in February, right? now I'm just kidding. No, but just an honor to be able to speak and be able to encourage people. I don't care whether I'm talking to young people or whether you're talking to adults, people in businesses and corporations. Everyone needs to be encouraged, and so that's what we're here for. Here to love, show His love to everyone else.
Absolutely, absolutely. So again, I appreciate you being here. So let me give some shout outs. We got Sophia on who is in Lawrenceville, out of Atlanta. My sister Shayla, and she's also on with my mom and my two little nephews down in
Hey,
Miami. So thank
nephew,
you,
nephews.
yes, all for being here. All right, Keisha. However, if you ain't found it, love in February, you gonna find it. Oh, that's right. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive, Keisha. Keep hope alive. And we got Brother Quasi, who is in Atlanta as well. Peace and blessings. Thank you so much for being here. So we want to start by giving a shout out to our well, I'm gonna let you do the honors, coach. To the person who is now the head basketball
Oh
coach.
man. So I
D.
got the text on ESPN today and I said, "Oh, no he didn't make a transition." So I text my guy Charlie Ward. So big shout out to my guy Charlie, man. Phenomenal guy. Even when I've been the encourager, needs to be encouraged.
Yeah.
He's always, and he even texted me back today, as busy as he is, and said,
Mhm.
thank you, coach," after I said congratulations. So big shout out.
Right.
FAMU's not just getting a great coach, you're getting a great man who loves
Yes.
those young people. So I can't wait.
Yes. No, that was a great selection, and he's definitely going to add value to
Oh,
the
yes.
basketball program, and I think to just the university as a whole. So super excited about him joining the FAMU athletics family.
Absolutely.
All right. So, disclaimer, Coach Ruffin is not a counselor, not a therapist.
Mhm.
So, he's a coach. So, we're going to be talking about Black love, mental health, and healing together. But before we jump into the topic, just talk a little bit about your organization and some of what you do and kind of what
Sure.
you have going on and coming up.
Sure. So my business right here, as you see, this side, it's called Rough Path. It's a play on my last name. It stands for rough, resilient, urgent, focused, and faithful. I thought, what are the things that people need in life, no matter what walk of life, no matter where you are, no matter where you come from, you have to not be able to do those four things, but dominate those four things. Be resilient, be urgent, be focused, and faithful. So that's the for profit. I'm able to travel to different businesses and schools and churches and sports teams, corporations, and they have me come in and speak, whether it's professional development, whether it's training and sales. So we do that. And I started my nonprofit called Ruffin It Up. And we help young people develop soft skills, personal and professional development for at-risk youth in the penal system, youth that are in the welfare system, and kids and teachers and educators that are in some of those low-income schools. So those who might not be able to afford those for-profit services can take the nonprofit advantage, and man, it is phenomenal, changing kids' lives. We have some great schools we're partnering with, so I love it. I love it. I love it.
Nice. All right. Well, very good. Well, again, glad you're here. I don't even recall how we met for real, but we've been kind of back and forth for probably about a year or
Hmm.
two,
Hmm.
talking about how we can collaborate or what have you. And so I'm glad to, again, for us to come together in this way. So definitely looking forward to this conversation. So a few more
Absolutely.
folks have joined us, Miss Shalia here in Tallahassee. Thank you for being here. And of course, so let me tell you, Keisha is my resident jokester. Okay. So she wants to know if you are related to David Ruffin.
Now you don't want me to sing Keisha Cole. All right. Now I'll do a lot of things, but Keisha Cole, you don't want me to start singing love.
No. So
No, no, no,
listen,
no, Keisha. I'm not related to David. But if I were, I need to hit David up. I need y'all to slide a brother a little something. But no,
so
I'm not
Keisha,
related to David.
what you don't know is that coach is a jokester as well. So get ready for the smoke. That's all I'm
There
gonna
you
say.
go, Keisha Cole. We
All
got it.
Tracy Golay, who is originally from Pensacola and he between Pensacola and Tallahassee from time to time. So thank you for being here. And yes, Sophia Renee, let the people know they need to hit the
Hit
like
that
button.
like button,
I am the
Sophia.
worst. I am the worst about promoting conversations with Nicole at times. But yes, please hit like and share,
Love
tag
it.
a friend, and be part of this great conversation. Yes. So again, we're talking Black love, mental health, and healing together. Somebody might hear Black love and be like, "Well, why we gotta? Why does love have to be black? Why can't it just be blood?" Right?
That's
What's
right.
up with that?
That's right.
What's up with
That's right.
that? Black love. Is that a real thing
You
or
know, it's so funny. Let me show this little guy to you. He's in here. I don't know if everybody can see. You know, a lot of my accounts say you need to be bringing your son around more. Can you say hello to everybody? Because you not. You say hey, hey, hey. What's going on? So the reason that I love talking about this little guy is this is the foundation for me. I've never seen anyone who looks like me. I'm adopted. I don't know my biological family.
mm,
So this is the first time I've ever, he just tried to hit the mute button, but I caught it. This is the first time I've ever seen someone who looks like me. So
mm,
when I think of Black love, man, when I think about how he has loved us, we're getting ready to come up to Easter time. When I think about his love for us and then the love that we need to have, man, it hits on a different level.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm super blessed, and I don't know if that's what you, but Black love for me, that
Okay,
is,
that's it.
woo, it,
That's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Sophia said, "Hey, little man." Yes. All right. So let me get the viewers involved. Like Black love, when you hear the term, what do you hear? And we got Mama
Mhm.
Maisha on, who is here in Tallahassee. She said a different kind of love.
Oh
Okay,
man,
so tell me
yeah.
what that is. Tell me what it is. I need to know what y'all feeling when y'all hear the term Black love. What is that? What
It's a
is that?
it's that connection that's deep. It's that connection that has been through some of the things that you've been through that you can relate to. I think it's that non-judgmental. Man, we can joke about things that you ain't even got to say, and you can get on to each other in a specific way. So,
Mhm.
man, it's a blessing when you can have it.
Nice, 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 nice. A few more folks have joined us. Donda, thank you for being here, and Cheryl down in Miami, thank you for being here. So, yes, I also agree that it is a bit different, although I really don't can't compare it to anything else per se, because I'm black and I feel like the love is unique. But I will also say when we think about black love, especially from a male female intimate relationship, like there are certain struggles I think that we have had to endure in this country that we just sometimes words can't even express
Yeah,
some of the traumas and the dramas that we have to go
absolutely.
through on a daily basis at work and just existing in this space, right?
Yes.
And so I think sometimes, when we think about Black love, it's like giving a certain amount of grace and mutual respect. Brother Quasi just said Black love to me should be simply respect, right? And so, yes, I think about that. I think about the struggle, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes the struggle is just, oof, it's a lot. It's a lot. And it impacts, as we are also mentioning, our mental health, right? And
Yes.
so how do we navigate that? How do we navigate the microaggressions, the prejudice, discrimination, bias, or what
Mhm.
have you that we experience in the world? And behind closed doors, what does that Black love look
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's a huge when I think he hit it on nail on the head, respect, but
Mhm.
it's also support because
Yeah.
there's a lot of times that that support, that encouragement, that hey, I know you got this, I know you can do this, I know this is I know you wanted to say a few things, but I'm glad you didn't. Power is not always what you say. Sometimes power is not what you say, what you can withhold,
Mhm.
and sometimes we have to set a standard that's a lot higher
Yeah,
than what it actually should be. So being able to have some of those unwritten conversations and rules of understanding, hey, there's some paths, rough path.
mhm,
There's
yeah,
some things that we go through that sometimes others might not understand and go through.
absolutely. So we got other folks chiming in. Miss Teresa said, overcoming the challenges together that
Hmm.
are unique to us. Yes, amen. Keisha, she said, that's how I feel about my granddaughter. I have two sons, but she's my little black Mexican me. Thank you, Keisha. And Donda said, honest, emotional, and sometimes awkward.
Yeah,
You feel that?
that's good.
Yeah, I
That's
feel
good. I
that.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank y'all for your comments.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that. And so, when we talk about Black love and the mental health piece, like, again, I feel like a lot of that can kind of be giving one another grace, sometimes giving each other space. Sometimes I think it is having, for the men, Black men mentors, women, same thing,
Yeah.
that, they can see some healthy examples of
Yeah.
womanhood, manhood,
Yeah.
and relationships, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what's so funny is my friend and I were texting today. He always writes me stuff on Instagram, sends me a meme, and I open it when I'm in this office. And I know doggone well I shouldn't be opening no meme in this office. I'm getting ready to
Yeah.
go do this home health care sale. I opened it up today and I read something, and then we started texting. And he
Mhm.
said, "Hey man, you good?" And he called me.
Hmm.
And he said, "Man, I just wanted to make sure." Shout out to CJ Dancy, one of my good friends. He's on my board for my
Okay.
nonprofit. But
Mhm.
CJ just said, "Hey, man, I heard you on your text message, and I just want to make sure." And I was just kind of giving him a little bit of, but it's that fact of checking in on somebody's mental health. He said, "I just could kind of feel something, and I wanted to
Yeah.
check in on you." And that was big to me. And I told him that, man, I love you and I appreciate you. Not a lot of men. I try to tell all my friends, I love you. And so we
Mhm.
always say that to each other, but that was big.
Yeah.
Love is what love does. So
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if y'all heard that because the baby was talking, but love is what love does, right? Love is what love does. So a good friend of mine, Alex Williams, down in Miami, is on. Thank you for joining us, sir. So, yeah, that mental health piece is huge, right? And so I
it
think
is.
also that is where the grace comes in because you know, sometimes, our brethren aren't expressive with the words and, they may go through some things. And I think the way men have been socialized, and particularly, especially Black men, to kind of suck things up and
Yeah.
just kind of roll with the punches and
Mm,
you know, not show any emotion that would be considered
yeah.
weakness or showing their vulnerability. Now, I would hope that at the house they could be vulnerable, but sometimes there's issue there. So,
Yeah.
any thoughts? Any?
And let me actually, I'd love to talk about that just for a moment. I've before been married before, so I've been able to come home and have to zoop shut down,
Mm-hmm.
not have that open, not have that ability to be able to be vulnerable and not
Mm,
it not be used against you, or come in the house and automatically be attacked and you got this and that going on. So
yeah,
that is huge. So to all those ladies who are able to give us that grace and to walk us through and to be calm. It's a little different for me because being a speaker, my dad was a pastor, so we talk. Now you're gonna talk about what you got going on, but not everyone's like that.
right,
So
right.
now getting the Black love to where I do have that person, I do have that safe space. Oh, it's night and
Mhm.
day. It is phenomenal. So for those of you who are doing that, thank you so much from a male, from a man. That we need that. We need that encouragement. We gonna give you the world. We gonna fight as hard as we can, but sometimes that cape gets a little heavy, and sometimes
Right.
we do need that encouragement, and we do need to be able to express some of those things that we've got going on.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna dive in here just a minute a little deeper.
Yeah,
And I see Sophia said we are uniquely gifted to heal each other. We have also hurt each other. So let the healing begin. All right. And so now while I don't think we're going to necessarily heal every aspect of Black
mhm,
love in this the remainder of these 40 minutes or so that we have left, But I do want to at least like plant some seeds, water some seeds, as we move forward. So, I think what you were talking about, extending that grace, sometimes women, especially us black women, can be how can I say? We can sometimes we can have a little spicy mouth. Sometimes we can be kind of, I told you so ish. Uh, and sometimes we don't give sometimes the piece that men say that they want and need, right? On the other hand, I think sometimes men can be a little non-responsive. And
Mhm.
I can tell you firsthand, uh, having been on this earth 54 years, having a father who has been married to my mother for 57 years. Um, I have witnessed my dad. He's a pretty quiet gentleman, but while my mom, she's very chatty and she talks about a lot of things, and it appears that he does not hear her because he's not saying anything, but in the background he's doing it. Whatever it is she's talking about, right? He's like he does it quietly and silently. But a lot of times I think for us it's a security thing, it's a safety thing, and we want to feel safe and secure. We have a huge safety need, I think, which is where like the protection piece comes in, right? I know that men identify with protecting and providing, and y'all don't get quiet on me because I want y'all to chime in these comments now. So protecting and providing, but it's more than that, right? Okay, the mute button is hit. The mute button. Uh-huh.
Oh, he got it. He did get it that time. I was gonna say it's definitely that. You have to communicate. It's got to be that communication of it's. I think someone even said it earlier. It's that partnership. You've got strengths and you've got weaknesses. What I'm weak in, my wife has got a strength. What she's weak in, I believe I've got strengths in. So you've
Mhm.
got to be able to have those open, honest,
Yeah.
hard conversations that allow you to be able to be vulnerable. And that's where growth happens. Growth
Mhm.
happens when you have those hard conversations and you can open up. So continue to be that for people. If you are, you never know sometimes what people are going through and just what those encouraging words can do and can be.
For sure. And then I would also say, now, mind you, I have never been married, okay, but I do talk to a lot of married people, both men and women. Um, at least in my mind, it's we're on the same team, right? We are on the same team. We are husband and wife. We're on the same
Yes,
team, and so it should not be us against each other, but us against the problem. Like,
absolutely.
how can we tackle this thing, whatever it is, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And so I think if you like really openly and honestly go at it with that in mind, you can't help but win, right?
hmm But you know what? I've been a coach, and you've got different coaches on the team as well, and sometimes you have different perspectives. And in the heat of the moment, you forget, hey, we are on the same team fighting against the other team. So that can also be a challenge. So you got to come back, like you said. You trying to tell me how to be dead? You got to come back, and you got to say, hey, we got to revisit this thing. We are on the same team. We are wanting to help each other.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I think that's a big part of it as well is, let's let's try to identify some solutions, right?
Yeah.
So that we can win, and not
Yeah.
just us winning, but our family winning and the community winning. Because I'll tell you, a healthy, thriving black marriage has a huge impact on the community, right? Not just on that marriage, not just on that family, but extended family members and friends and the larger community, right? And so we want that. We absolutely want that.
And I think too, like when I've even coached and I've been with other players, and for them to see that, hey, I might not have seen it growing up, but I know it can happen. I know it is a possibility. There is someone out there that gives them hope. And a lot of times that's just what people need. You
Mhm.
can aspire to what you can see. And sometimes
Right.
people just need to see it. And listen, and you got to tell people, hey, we ain't perfect now.
Right.
There ain't no perfect. I got the perfect person, but there is no perfect. We got the perfect person for me, but I am not perfect. So, but we are going
Right.
to work together.
Right. So I want to get the viewers involved. So, when you all think of Black love in terms of examples of Black love, in the culture, or even, wherever you are, what does that look like? Give maybe shout out some names or some examples of Black love, like healthy, positive Black love. And again, not that it's perfect, not that they don't have trials and things that they go through, but give me some examples. Let us know in the comments if you don't mind sharing. Safe space for us to communicate and engage with one another. So I see we got Miss Latina on. Oh, that's Sharice. Hold on. Latina, she said great reflection. Communication is critical together as one. That's the vision. Correct. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for being on here, Tina. All right. And Sharice, who is also in Atlanta, thank you for joining us. So let me know when you think about Black love, what are some examples that you have seen or that you've experienced on your own yourself on what Black love? And it doesn't have to be relegated to
Hmm.
just couples, because it extends beyond that. But let me know. Let us know in the comments, if you will. I will say my parents for sure. I think they do exhibit that. The good, bad, and the ugly. Not that there's a whole lot of ugly, but it is what it is. So after 57 years, and I actually come from a family of folks that have stayed together for a long time. My dad's oldest sister, she and her husband were married 62 years. He just transitioned
Mm,
about 2 weeks ago, but 62 years. I have a great aunt, her and her husband getting been together 70 years. So,
mm,
yeah.
that's
So
amazing.
it is.
My barber and I were talking about this morning. A lot of times people say "happy wife, happy life," and that is to me one of the worst things I have ever heard in my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it should be happy spouse, happy house. Like both
Absolutely.
spouses are together. We're working together to happy house. Listen, if anything growing up, if my daddy wasn't happy, wasn't nobody happy. So if anything, but at the same time, you have to work together. It ain't 50-50. It ain't 75-75. It's 100% being in together, communicating and working
Yeah.
together. And man, people want to live to be 62. I'm in healthcare. People want to live to be 62, much less being
Mhm.
married 62 years. So
Right.
that's a blessing right there to be able to hear that. That's awesome.
That is. All right. Cheryl said Denzel Washington and his wife. Okay, nice. I've seen them a little bit, kind of
Hmm.
together and also separately kind of talking about one another on social
Yeah.
media. So yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Cheryl. I think we've also had some images, when you think about, like, some of the sitcom, shows, so your Good Times, James, The Jeffersons, George and Wheezy, also, the Cosbys, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Claire and Heathcliff Huxtable, right?
Uh-huh.
So, like you said, I think if you don't see it, sometimes it's difficult to imagine what that might be like,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. And
Mhm.
too, like a lot of times, when I work with youth, and sometimes people say, "Well, you're a product of your environment." And that's not. I mean, it plays a part of it, but you can also use the other side of it and say, "I don't want what I saw. I
Mm,
want better." Do I know what that is? I might not always know what that is and how to get there,
right.
but I can find the right person that is for me, and I can make sure that together we know that that is not where we want to go. We
Mm,
want to go together further. So
nice.
it's a blessing. Listen, I was just listening to a guy on Instagram the other day, and he said, "Man, you want to create generational wealth? Get married, stay
Mm,
married, and have a great
mhm.
representation. Don't, like Willie Spears says, you got to win at home. If you're
Yeah,
not winning at home, it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. Winning at home
right.
with your family is the most important thing."
That's powerful. That's very powerful, but a very great point.
Yeah.
Very great point. All
Yeah.
right, so some folks are chiming in. My sister said Whitley and Dwayne. Okay, come
Whitley and
on,
Dwayne.
world. We went through some trials though. Great
Come on,
day.
they sure did.
Yeah. Woo. All right. She said mom and dad. Yes. All right. Keisha, she said we don't need single mixers. We need singles go-getters, teaching singles how to date, understanding the opposite sex, and how to date. Okay. All right. So you gonna head that up, Keisha? What we doing? Teaching people singles how to date. Okay. We're gonna have to figure that out.
Keisha Cole, you've been told what to do.
Listen, right here in Tally Ho. Let's make it happen. All right, so we are about halfway through our talk. I know the time is flying right on by. For those of you who may be just tuning in, I'm on with Coach Jeremy Ruffin. We are talking about Black love, mental health, and healing together. So what's your thoughts about the healing together piece? Like, again, we've come in relationship with sometimes again drama, past traumas. Uh I think a lot of times we don't know kind of what people are going through, especially when we're talking about two unrelated people coming together to form a union, right? And so, kind of along with what Keisha is saying is about how to date and what are you looking for when you're out there, and maybe some of the questions to ask or see if people have done their own self work as it relates to some of the traumas and dramas that they may have gone through.
You know, it's a couple things that I think of when people ask questions, or some of the things that I've seen through the life coaching is, if you don't heal from who cut you, you'll bleed on someone who didn't. We've heard the
Ooh.
phrase, and I know it's cliche. I know a lot of people hear that, but you got to heal before you just go jumping into a relationship. Nobody will ever complete you. They
Mm.
the Bible calls it a help mate, not a help completion. They help.
Ooh.
It's a help. It ain't a complete. They ain't. He's the only one that's going to complete you. So
Mm.
that person is going to fail. They're human. They're never going to be able to fully complete. They can help you in those areas, right? And then
Mhm.
also the expectations we have. Goodness, man, like we put expectations on people that are just unreal. You
Mm.
got to have this kind of job, and you've got to be this kind of person. Like we want them already ready made. And
Mm.
yes, there are certain things that you should already bring to the table. You need to not be worried about somebody does on top of the table. Worry about what they can bring to the table. However, that's a whole nother discussion. We get a little too, we get it. Yeah,
Ooh.
we get into some stuff.
Oh, that's good. That's
Hey,
good.
listen, but you
Good.
think about it too. Like, why do I need to settle down if hey, we doing that thing, baby. Why do I need to? So
Mm.
that's a whole nother conversation. We ain't get into that. But
Yeah.
you have to make sure that you get to know that person and just give them grace and give them mercy and understand we are all working together on this thing. So that was
Mm.
probably more than what you wanted me to
No,
say, but I
no,
mean,
no, that was spot on. That was spot on. So Tina said, "Don't bring emotional baggage to a relationship. You must heal from that first." Yes, 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 yes. And so, I think too sometimes we can be challenged in that area as well because a lot of times people are like, I don't really have any problems. I'm, moving along in life okay." But I think when we have untreated trauma, it shows up at the most unopportune time, right?
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I
Mhm.
think sometimes we have triggers that we have not dealt with.
Mhm.
Um, Things that people have done to us in the past. Someone will do something vaguely, but without that intention.
Right.
Intention is huge. So you definitely got to heal. You got to be good with yourself first. And I just think a lot
Mhm.
of times people want somebody to make them feel complete, and that's just not. You see all these shows and all this thing. I felt in love, and I thought I felt something, and I'm like, I tell the kids like when they say, "Man, coach, I felt it." I'm like, "Yeah, it was probably gas, indigestion. Get you some Pepto Bismol, right?" But feelings come and go. It's just like hunger. It comes and goes. Like it can't be about feelings. It can't be about emotions. You know, people say trust your heart. Nah, you can't trust your heart. You have to make sure that you make wise decisions. You have to take your time, and it's just been so cool just to maybe give people some things that may be a little different than what you're used to doing or hearing. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that you got to be honest with yourself too, you know? You got to
you
be
do.
honest with yourself, and there has to be a certain level of self-awareness,
Yeah.
and hopefully also you have some trusted friends or family members that are willing to like be honest with you, like
Yeah.
truth and love, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And let you know, hey, this ain't it. Like you know, you don't have to necessarily be with someone. You don't have to do this or that. Or, hey, are you sure you're ready for this situation? Are you sure you're ready for that person? So
Yeah,
good friends are really hard to find sometimes that'll really tell you the truth. So
yeah,
if you are that good friend, man, keep being that. And I don't know who's listening on the show. I don't know who's I don't know people's, but if you have that person, man, be so grateful and thankful, and reach back and help somebody else. If you don't have that person, it's okay.
yeah,
That right person will come at the right time, but there is no substitute for peace. So
for sure, for
please don't
sure.
rush into it.
Yeah, yeah. I think ultimately we all desire to love and be loved.
Mhm.
And, sometimes it drives us so that we seek to get it by any means necessary without counting up the cost, and this is not just, again, romantic or um,
Mhm.
intimate relationships, but
Mhm.
it can be other relationships as well. And
Absolutely.
so, I would, just strongly encourage us to um, be mindful of who we are connecting ourselves with,
Yeah.
and just, you know, be your own best friend too, as it relates to all of that. All right. Sometimes we can be better friends to others than we can to ourselves.
Yeah.
And you deserve uh good healthy relationships, and good is
Absolutely.
relative, but healthy relationships, positive
Absolutely.
relationships, ones that support you, that encourage you, that
Mhm.
that lift you up and
Mhm.
support the things that you are trying to do.
Yeah.
I am of the mindset that we all have gifts and talents that the world is waiting on, and we shouldn't be sitting on them. So you want people that recognize that within you and help encourage that within you.
Absolutely. It was so cool this
Mhm.
past weekend. My wife's part of Jack and Jill here in Pensacola, and
Mhm.
she had a big event, and it was just so great to be able to support her.
Nice.
And she's always supporting me. So a lot of times I can whatever, but it's just great when you've got that spouse that supports you and says, hey, go do your thing. We here. I got the kids. Go
Mhm.
go 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 take off and do your thing. So having that person that
Absolutely.
supports you regardless of what it is, if that's your passion, if that's what you want, then go for it. So that's important.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So a few more folks joined us. Mr. Joseph Ward on the Shoulders of Giants here in Tallahassee. Thank you for being here. And Karen, okay, yes, Wellness Wednesday. Thank you for joining us. Tina said it must be in alignment with God's will for your life. God's timing is the best timing. Agree,
Come
agree.
on, TB, you better tell somebody. His timing is the best time, and I ain't know how deep I could get into that, but you don't want me
Come
going into
on,
all that now.
go ahead, come on, bring
Uh,
it. What
listen,
you
and
got?
listen, Tina. I love that because sometimes rejection is protection. God
Mm,
really can protect us from people. I remember past relationships, and man, things just didn't work. And man, God's timing
yeah,
is phenomenal. It's never
yeah,
too early. It's never too late. And sometimes you got to go through some things to grow. And
mhm,
man, it's amazing. So it's
yeah,
huge
it is.
testimonies with that.
It is, it is, it is. But yeah, I feel like you also definitely have to be asking and tuned
Mhm.
in, right? Because we could go on our own laurels and, think, because like you said, I felt this, that, and the other, and yeah, that thing will be so not good.
Yeah.
Just as
There you go.
toxic,
Yeah, that's
just as
right.
toxic as it want to be. So,
And
mm,
I tell people too, be careful now. People, you just said it. You start praying to be careful because if you pray and ask him, he gonna tell you, and he might not be what you want to hear, and you gonna have a clear direction, go left or go right, and you can't be mad at nobody else because it's very, very obvious when you start getting to that, and that's that foundation block is. Uh,
mm, mm,
when I got ready to get me remarried, my friend, the first thing I asked is, "How is your relationship with the Lord?"
mhm.
Stop building it on the wrong things, and that foundation is so, and because if you have that foundation, a lot of that other stuff, it'll work itself out, but that foundation is that's key.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Keisha said too many unhealthy and unhealed adults in charge of things, families, and businesses sought out. to God. I saw it. Oh, is she singing? I think
She's
she's
singing
singing.
that song. You better sing that song, Keisha Cole. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. He heard and he answered. Okay, Keisha. Yes, ma'am. All right. I'm gonna keep singing. So I think again the healing is really really important. In fact, I feel like that should be first, like before we even get into the whole black love piece, and not even just. I mean, we have relationship with family and that sort of thing, but I think we need to be seeking healing. I really do.
Yeah,
And that healing should be spiritual. It should be emotional. It should be mental. We need to be healed. We need to be whole. We need to be healed.
absolutely. Absolutely. And people have me come in and speak on mental health all the time. And
Mhm.
mental health is not just mental health. It's spiritual, it's emotional, it's physical, it's sexual, it's financial, it's professional. Mental health is all encompassing.
It
So
is.
when people say work on your mental health, they're really saying, really should be saying, you got to work on you as an individual person. So
Yes.
I'm stronger and better in the relationship when I'm better as a person, so
Yes.
um, for those of you who are healing and working on yourself, that's phenomenal. Keep doing it.
Mm,
That's not a bad thing. And listen, let me say this. It should always be a continual thing.
yes.
You have never reached this peak of I don't have to stop working on my mental health or healing. Like I've got to
Mhm.
continue to heal and work on things and not allow those past things to come back. So it's powerful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So don't consider yourself to have arrived even at 50, 60, 70 years old, 45. Don't consider yourself you have arrived. You still learning, still growing, still becoming a better version of yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 1,000%.
Yeah. 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 So there's always room for improvement, right? But
Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
but also celebrate, when you have improved, when you have,
Mhm.
healed or come to terms with some things from your past that are no longer serving you well, and that, you learn some lessons from, and that you can create some new mechanisms in your life to
Yeah.
deal and just function and operate.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
When I'm able to deal with people in some life coaching, I don't know if you've ever heard people say this, but this phrase comes about more than you would ever think or imagine.
What's that?
People will say, "I know this isn't the right person for me, but," and
Mm.
they'll go into the things that are really good, the money, the situations. You laughing, you
The
giggling. Hey,
sex,
look, you
the
giggling,
sex.
but listen, and listen, and I'm not going to put name, but I'm just telling you that it is a real issue that people sometimes do it to move on from that person. And I'm living proof. I did it. I tried to save face. I tried to make sure that everybody on the outside thought everything was good while I'm going to the crib and like I'm miserable. And
Yeah.
no, nothing and no one is worth your peace to not
Mhm.
have that. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps anyone who's listening, but
No,
um,
I think that's a great tidbit, and I think that's very real. Like I feel
it
like
is.
a lot of people, and Tina's saying it, don't settle because it's convenient. Listen,
Yeah.
people settle for a whole lot of reasons. I
Yeah.
think one of the primary ones is that they want to be loved. They
Yeah.
want to love and they want to be loved, right?
Yeah.
But at
Yeah.
what expense? At what cost?
Yeah.
It shouldn't
Absolutely.
be like you said, your
Absolutely.
peace is priceless, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so some people, many are in relationships because of financial reasons. They can't afford
Absolutely.
to live out
Absolutely.
on their own because the cost of
Sure.
rent,
Sure.
listen, it's expensive out here.
Yeah. No, I get
So,
it.
you know,
I
they
get it.
don't know, they don't even want to be alone with their own thoughts.
Yeah, that's tough because a lot of times, my sister told me one thing one time that really stood out to me. She said, "Jeremy, you were in love with the idea of being in love."
That's it.
I
I
was a,
know
I'm a,
I
I'm
got
a
a few
fixer.
friends like that. I got a few friends like that
Yeah,
that are in love with love.
yeah, and in love with the idea of being in love and wanting to fix this person and fix the situation. And I'm a fixer, and you can't fix nobody, if it's not if they're not willing to do that. So, um, yeah, that's a big one. It's a real big one.
A big one. That is a big one. Yeah. And as Tina again has said, thank you, Tina. The fear of being alone. It's oof. That alone. Listen, they say loneliness is at pandemic proportions right now. and they
Mm.
liken the lonely condition to like smoking so many cigarettes. Like it's like that detrimental to your health.
When
And
you say loneliness, are you meaning just like with friendships, relationships, or just the
all of it
general?
in
Yeah,
general.
yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. in
That's tough because you really truly can't ever be great with someone if you can't be great being alone. And I know it's that fear of
Oh, yeah. You better
I
rewind that right there, coach.
it's I'm
Listen.
telling, but listen, like people say that's cliche, but it's so true because you don't because then you start like we said it before, you start relying on someone to have your happiness and your joy and your completion, and they will never be
Yeah.
able to complete you and have that. So you just enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, give yourself some grace, and the
Hmm.
right person will come at the right time. And
Hmm.
I think it can happen. I really do think that there is someone, for most of us, if that's something that we choose to and want to.
And also some friends. Like it doesn't have to
Yeah,
necessarily be, a
yeah,
companion from that standpoint,
yeah,
but
absolutely,
it can be friends, platonic
absolutely,
friendship, right?
absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
so
That's good.
Lisa here in Myrick, who is here in Tallahassee, she is graduating with her master's in social work next month. Thank you for being here, Lisa. She said, yes, it's real big. It's a real big one. Indeed, indeed.
Congratulations, Miss Lisa. Great job. Gonna get that degree.
Yes, 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 yes. All right, Keisha, your friend Keisha. Never
Oh
trust a big butt.
Lord.
No, I'm not
Keisha, what
talking
you
about
talking
me
about?
though. Right. She
Never
gonna
trust a big butt and a smile. I'm not talking about me though. Keisha, ooh, what you got going on, girl?
foolishness, foolishness, straight foolishness. You already see.
That is too funny.
Oh my goodness. All right. So again, I cannot stress enough how I think the healing is so important. But
It
you
is.
gotta not be in denial.
Yeah.
You gotta be self-aware and honest with yourself. And if you need some help, please seek it. And that
Yeah.
could be with a
Yes.
counselor, with a therapist. Once
Yes.
you work through those things from the past, then get a coach to
Yeah.
help you identify some goals and move
Absolutely.
forward. Right?
Absolutely. That was
Mhm.
one of the biggest things, as a basketball coach, we would you're welcome. As a basketball coach, we would tell you to write down your goals. What are your goals as a player, as a team? What do you want to see? I think it's the same thing in relationships, in
Yeah.
friendships, in business, professional. What goal do you want to have? Write
Mhm.
that thing down, and then listen. If you in the weight room and say, "Man, I want to lose 5 to 10 pounds. I gotta get on this thing, and I gotta get stronger." Okay, so then what are you going to do? And I think
Mhm.
that's a lot of times where we struggle. We have this big goal, but what are the steps that I got to reach that goal? And if there's someone who's struggling and needs a little encouragement, man, I love to be able to help them and give them some things I know that we've seen that have been a help.
Okay, cool. Dante, he said our community has also made being single something wrong and create pressure to have a companion. Dante, you better say that, sir. Let me tell this quick story. So I was at a restaurant in town and went by myself, and the server, who was a young woman, said, why you by yourself? Now she all in my business, right?
Mm,
You by yourself. Where's do you have a boyfriend or a husband? And I was like, no. And I said, because I enjoy my company.
mm,
But singleness oftentimes is looked upon as like, what's wrong with you? Why you ain't got
mm.
nobody? Right?
That's sad.
But
That's
true.
sad
But true.
that you can't just be out doing your thing.
Hmm. Yeah. And so he said, which is why we are willing to settle with anyone to be with someone. Think about that. Like y'all really
Mm,
let that marinate, right?
hmm.
If the community has made being single, speaking it or acting as if something is wrong with you and has created this pressure to have a companion, this is why we are willing to settle with anyone to be with someone because we don't want to be the odd man out.
And no, I think that also too is that comparison. Comparison is a thief of joy. Like we see it on social media. We see this, we see that, we see our friends, we see people posting, but we really don't know what's going on. You really don't know the struggles that people are having.
No, you don't.
I challenge people, man. Don't compare. Run your race, stay in your lane,
Mhm.
and just be good. But yes, you're right. We are seeing so many different people, and you're looked at wrong if you're not with someone, and that's
Mhm.
okay if you're not. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah. So Tina said it's okay to date yourself. Amen.
Come on, Tina, you better tell somebody.
Amen. Treat yourself to a massage. Treat yourself to a facial. Treat yourself to some time at the beach or the park.
There you go.
Treat
There you go.
yourself.
There you
Yes.
go. If I got any fellas on here who are single and you ain't never had a pedicure, you make sure that you get with me after this, and I'm gonna make sure that you get you a great pedicure. You better go get your pedicure and enjoy, and let them folks get bunions and fun. You trying to get married and and get with somebody, and you cutting holes in your socks. You better stop that foolishness now, Miss Nicole, Miss Everett. You better tell them
Oh, Lord have
to get them
mercy.
pedicures and manicures to get yourself right. Now say something about that, Kim.
Mm.
Oh, Keisha Cole, where's she at? Where
Keisha,
Keisha at on
I'm
that one?
sure she makes, I'm sure she making something to say. I'm sure she is.
But
All
no,
right.
treat yourself. Take care of yourself. It's so important. Even once you get in a relationship, if you decide to get in one, always make sure that you gotta take care of yourself. You can't pour anything into a cup if it's empty.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. That's so good. So good. So I really feel like we have covered it. I mean, we talked about the healing, the mental health. I think with mental health, also, outside of counseling and therapy, we talked about treating yourself, dating yourself, but also, some healthy coping skills, like some things that you can do when you've had a rough day or you feel like you're about to lose it, or,
Yeah,
just, yeah. So
yeah,
those coping skills could be, again, connecting with nature, deep breathing,
yeah,
listening to music,
yeah,
meditating,
yeah,
reading your Bible,
yeah,
praying,
yeah,
talking to a friend,
yeah.
coloring.
Yep, exercise is a big one, man. Get in that gym in the morning and work out. Work out before you go to work. It's just something about dropping my son off in the morning, and I can get 30, 45 minutes in the gym where I can get in the treadmill. I can get that workout in, and then I can shower and go about my day. I've just
Yeah.
got that little bit of time for myself. Then when I get ready to pick him up or come home, I get to sit in the car and just decompress for a few moments so I don't
Mhm.
blow up at people because of the day's been crazy. So
Right.
you've got to have that time for you because you really do need it. You talked about
Mhm.
loneliness. I'll tell you another thing that messes people up is stress.
Mhm.
That stress can ruin
It can
relationships
kill
and
you. It can
literally.
kill you,
So
literally.
we've got to make sure that we aren't bringing that into the relationship and self care as well.
Absolutely. All right. Miss Keisha came back. She said, I'm looking for a paying roommate so I could go treat myself.
Oh Lord, Keisha.
See, that's what I'm telling you, foolishness. Foolishness. All night. All night.
It's
All
too
right. So that's all I would have to say about the mental health. To kind of wrap that up, is those coping skills, those healthy coping skills that we can use.
absolutely.
Like you mentioned the exercise. Rest. Rest. Like
It's
that is
big.
a major one. Rest, drinking plenty of water, making sure you are eating healthy foods,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
rest. Do not
Rest
sleep
is a
on.
big one. Yeah, rest is
Mhm.
a big one, man. Take those naps if you can during the day, man. They say those power naps are a lot more powerful than what we think. I know it's
Mhm.
not always easy for everybody to do them, but man, just a 15, 20 minute, let your mind just reset and rest. And
Mhm.
it's big. It is really just like shutting your phone off. Your phone needs to reset. Like you really do have to reset. So it's good. What is rest? Miss Shayla, you better get it now. Don't underestimate the power of that rest. Rest is important.
It is. It is. It is. So get it. Get it. Get it.
Hmm.
All right. Oh, Keisha, you all in mail. I pray to God not to send me a man with stinky feet. The whole marriage is over. Girl, get off my
Keisha,
life.
Keisha, I got you. We'll get them that $60 pedicure that got them lavenders in that water. I got you, girl. Don't worry. We get you taken care of.
Oh my goodness. My viewers are something else, but I love them. All
That's good.
right. So, Coach, please give us some closing remarks and tell folks how they can connect with you.
Absolutely. So you can go to my website, jeremyruffin.com, Jeremy, Ruffin, Ruffin.com. You can reach me on Facebook, Jeremy Ruffin, my name. You can go on Facebook or Instagram with Jeremy Ruffin, or you can go on Facebook or Instagram with Rough Path, my business on this side, Ruffpath. And if there's something, every time that I speak at an event, whether it's to young people, whether it's to a business, I always say this phrase: when you combine your passion with your purpose, you are powerful.
Hmm.
All right, I'm going to say it one more time. When you combine your passion with your purpose, you are powerful. Some people are not very passionate about anything at all. You have to know what your passion is. Some people don't know what their purpose is. If you don't know what your purpose is, man, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you find your purpose. I hope that every time I open my doggone mouth, I'm powerful because I'm passionate about what I'm doing. I know my purpose in life. So hopefully, therefore, I'll be passionate. I mean, I'll have my purpose. So listen, I'm here to encourage. I'm here to help. I'm so grateful, Nicole, that you allow me to come on and speak and encourage people. If your business needs a speaker, your church, your youth group, your program, oh goodness, man, I would love to come and encourage your people. We are seeing some lives change around the world, so I would love to come be an encouragement to you.
Nice. Well, thank you, Coach. I appreciate it so much. I'm glad again we had this time to talk about what I think is a very important topic and
Hmm.
has some implications and impact that we probably have kind of taken for granted, but we need to really kind of hone in on this. So,
Absolutely.
uh, if you all have benefited from this conversation, let us know. Let us know. Let us know. Please put your information in the chat. All right, Tina, we will do that. We will do that. All
Absolutely.
right. Dante said, man, men better take care of them feet.
Come on, Dante. Come on, Dante DB. You better tell somebody, Mr. Bonner. You better get them feet clean and them toenails.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yes, sir. He said, cope by listening to Conversations with Nicole podcast. Thank you,
Ooh, look at
Dante.
that shout out, Nicole.
Yes, 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 yes. I love it. My sister gave us some clapping hands. Appreciate you so much. All right. So y'all, let's keep this conversation going. Because again, I think it's an important one and one that we need to do a better job at of doing is loving one another.
That's right.
Right. Loving one another. So I am putting his information in the chat so you all can have it.
Absolutely. And please tell them, please reach out. Like I love making sure people know that they can reach out to me. We want to make sure that we can answer questions. You have an advocate, you got somebody here for you. So please, please, please don't ever feel like you can't reach out. Like you have someone. I've got people messaging me right now. Like we want to help and encourage you. No judgment, non-judgmental conversation doesn't go anywhere, but you have to have someone who looks like you, who can see you, can understand you, that can just encourage you. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. That's what coaching is all about. So appreciate that so much. Lisa said, I love this conversation. Thank you so much, Lisa. Appreciate it. Next week is actually we have Sonia B is going to be on with me on Wednesday, April 23rd. It's actually National Vagina Appreciation Day. And so we will be talking all things. Look at Jeremy's face. All things, yeah, I know you weren't expecting that one. All things with JJ as we are preparing for Poom Poom Party 3.0 on Sunday, April 27th, here in Tallahassee at Southwood. For the ladies, you can get your tickets on cocktails and conversations.com. Find out more information the on our Facebook page, Conversations with Nicole. And then I have clinician Brittany Payne Bruce coming on, and we will be talking about healing and restoration. So you don't want to miss that one either. All right, we got a few more folks chiming in. So Karen, love you, Nicole, and the conversation uh, with and for the community. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
All right, Keisha, another great conversation. Thank you. All right, Tina, giving us some laughs and some hearts. She said, "Thank you for the invite. I enjoyed the conversation. Lovely." Keisha, does anybody have an extra pack of tissue? Which, you know what?
Tissue. What you need some
Yeah,
tissue
what's
for?
for? I don't know.
Mm, I better not ask that question.
Well, yeah, no, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. Trust me. All right. And so, for those of you who may be new to the platform, of course, I have to invite you to subscribe to Conversations with Nicole. We're here Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Focus on mental health and wellness, especially in Black and Brown communities. So, again, Coach, thank you so
Thank you for
much.
having me to come on. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Y'all have a great night. Have a great resurrection weekend for those of you who are believers and who celebrate. Be safe out there, and we will see y'all next time. Peace.